Hello, Africa. Welcome to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. This is the show that tackles issues pertaining to women as they contribute to national development. How have you been? Wow, wow, wow. We missed you last week because Chan was going on and then it affected our show. But I am so happy to be with you tonight, and it's going to be an interesting one. Yesterday, globally, we all commemorated World Education Day, and people came up with various forms of issues around education. And African Women's Voices show said, we are not going to stop the conversation from going on, and just happened only yesterday and then nothing happens again. It's a continuous conversation. So today, we want to also be part of what is going on around education, and we have very, very good women who are going to be able to educate us as to where we have concerns. And then if you have further questions, you reach out to them on their platforms and they can finish up the conversation with you. So please draw closer to your TV set. As usual, I always like to acknowledge those who are making this show very possible. First, I want to say a very big thank you to Twinicraft. Twinicraft has provided this very beautiful accessory that is making me look regal, African, royal, and so beautiful. So if you're that person that likes to have something that really is unique and makes you stand out in the crowd, then you need Twinicraft to be able to put together pieces that will make you feel that way. My outfit has been put together by Kubura Diamonds, and tonight Kubura says I should be in black and well adorned with my beads. Thank you so much, Kubura Diamonds. You can pick up her number right now from the base of your screen. So I'll go for a quick commercial break. Those of you who are watching know that if for any reason you need to move from your TV set, we are streaming live on Facebook at ETV Ghana, and then you could just log on to that portion of your device. Okay, so there will be no time for you to say, okay, I'm missing it out. No, once you're leaving your TV set, just hook on to our Facebook page. And please share, share, share. We need a lot of people to get to know what education is all about and what we're doing this year around World Education Day. When I return, I'll introduce my guests. One of them is from ICPD, the other is from ULesson, and then we have story time with Mary, who is based in the UK and will be joining us via Zoom. So do stay tuned. And you're welcome to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. If you just joined us, this is the World Education Day edition. So I have my two guests right here with me in the studio, and Mary is going to be connecting with us via Zoom. Please, do we have Mary online now? Okay, Mary, how are you?
I'm so sorry, I can't hear anything. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good, good, good. Hello.
I can hear you, Mary.
Lovely to see you all. I'm so sorry, I can't hear you. So I think we have a bit of a technical problem.
Great. So that's Mary Coomson. She's joining us from the UK, and she is the founder of Storytime with Mary. So you could reach her on Facebook and Instagram and then talk more or relate more with her. She's going to be giving us her piece of what she's doing when it comes to advocacy for children. And seated right next to me is Joyce, Mrs. Joyce Nyano. Did I pronounce it well?
Lanyo.
Lanyo. Oh, very beautiful name. And she's the country director of ICPD. She's into advocacy. And what I like very much about her is the fact that things that concern SDG 4, she is the convener for SDG 4, and she's very passionate about the development of children. Please welcome to African Women's Voices show.
Thank you very much.
All right, and I have Patience. She's from ULesson, and ULesson is an app that is supposed to be helping children, especially the busy moms and dads and grannies and aunties who are unable to be, all the time present with their children. ULesson is going to be able to give the support that is needed at any point in time, right?
Yes, please.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So talking about World Education Day, everybody's focus comes to UNESCO. And we want to understand why they created a day such as this. And Joyce is going to be helping us to answer that question because ICPD is a partner to UNESCO, so she can take us through that. Please, why do we have this special day?
Thank you very much, and good evening to your viewers. You know, education is the pivot for any development endeavor. And so UNESCO found it very necessary to put this day down as a UN day to do some advocacy concerning the importance of education in our lives. Education is a public good, and it's the right for everybody to participate and then get the benefits of education. At this point, we have a chunk of the population who are out there not accessing education, and so we want to ask why. So we are using this day to press home the information about the importance of getting into school, learning, acquiring skills, sending the girl child to school, the government investing in education endeavors. All educational institutions should have what it takes to train children or adults to acquire whatever skills they need to achieve their potentials. So it's the day set aside to actually bring to government's attention some of the issues that are not going well within our education institution so that we find remedies to them. Issues of streetism, issues of teaching and learning processes that do not match up to the standards, issues of girls getting pregnant and dropping out of school, among others. So we do this kind of advocacy to bring government's attention. Of course, the SDG is just around the corner where we'll have to give an account of whatever all the benchmarks. And if we don't hurry up to draw these points close to us, for us to achieve whatever we set out in the SDG, then the theme of leaving no one behind will not have been achieved. So this is the time to use this special day to draw home the issues around the importance of investing in our education system, investing in our children so that we support everybody to achieve their potentials. And at the end of the day, we will be breaking the poverty cycle. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I love the aspect about breaking the poverty cycle, because it's the dream of every parent to be able to put their child on a path that will make them better than they are. So every parent wants their child to be better than they are. So we do everything possible to push them and ensure that they live a better life. And that is where ULesson actually comes in. So in the pursuit of trying, to give our children the best, to ensure that they are better than us, you have thought about an app called the ULesson.
Yes.
Tell everyone watching you right now what this app is actually for and what age range can get to use it.
Okay, thank you so much. So the ULesson is an online educational learning app which was created to revolutionize how children learn today in school and at home. It's basically to help children who have a lot of conundrums when it comes to learning their subjects with regards to subjects like English, mathematics, science, integrated science. We also have those for the secondary schools that comes with chemistry, biology, physics, where their parents are actually only getting them extra classes teachers to come and only do homework and all of that. ULesson is actually eliminating that to give them an affordable and accessible learning tool, which is online. We know today's kids, they are already on the internet. So instead of them just being watching cartoons or playing video games and all of that, ULesson is actually helping them to enhance some of these conundrums that they have by educating them with live sessions and high quality videos that we have pre-recorded on the app for them. And it's something that we are able to do by employing an individualistic learning approach where a child can learn at their own pace, anytime, anywhere.
Okay, so if I understand you well, a child from preschool can have access to this, preschool?
It's from primary.
From primary?
To SHS.
To SHS.
Yes, please.
Okay. while you were making your delivery, you mentioned something around maths and science. And, you know, this is a particular field that a lot of parents always want to emphasize on to ensure that their children do so well. I would like to show our people, our audience, as they watch us, what you have to say from a visual we gathered around science and mathematics. So, Director, if we can have that very short footage around what ULesson is doing in the area of maths and science.
A tangent is a line that touches a curve at a point.
The point where the book balanced on your finger is called the center of gravity.
The water density is the mass of a substance per volume. A cup of seawater is heavier than an identical cup of fresh water. So salt water is denser than fresh water.
So on that note, you have a feel of how the interface looks like when you get onto the ULesson app, especially for those parents who are interested in maths and science. So Mary, hello Mary. Can you hear me now?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Good to see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can. Okay, so Mary,
I'm so sorry. I'm having to improvise, so I'm having trouble hearing you. So I'm actually having to, the power of technology that in this day and age, I'm actually having to listen to you via Facebook and respond to you.
Okay, all right. So you are the founder of Storytime with Mary. And it is your duty to get children to be interested in reading. And you have such interests. I want you to take us through how to begin the journey of reading to a child.
Thanks, Eunice. So reading is so important for children, even from a really young age. It's so important to read to kids. Kids are like sponges, and there's lots of reasons why it's important to read to children. I think the first reason is to help with their listening skills. So from a really young age, if you're reading to children, they can sit down. It helps with their concentration. It helps to build their brain development. So there's been research that's shown that actually young children, when you read to them at home, it helps with their cognitive development and how they can actually take in more information. So you can start from reading all sorts of stories. You know, when we were younger, our parents and our grandparents would read Anansi stories to us. You don't need any elaborate books. You can actually make up stories. As long as you're reading to children, they're hearing you read and they're hearing the stories. It's so important. So you don't even need books to actually read to kids. You can just make up stories and tell them, as long as they can hear those stories and sit down and listen.
Great. So don't go away yet. I'm not letting you go. I was going to say, people say you could read to your child even from the belly. How true is this?
And again, excuse the delay. I'm having to listen on two devices. Very true. So like I said, children are like sponges, especially from a really young age. When you read to them, it helps them to build an understanding of language. So children need to learn to listen before they can learn to read. And so even with babies, you know, you see people reading to their tummy and, you know, talking to their belly, because actually, even when they're really small babies, you may not think that it's important what you're telling them, but actually they can understand, and they're taking that information in. So it's just as important as reading to grown-ups, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right, I'll take a quick commercial break, but when we return, I'll be coming back to Joyce, our UNESCO partner. She's going to be taking us through a conversation where we talk about the fact that education is a vaccine for violence. She'll give us her take on that when we return, so do not go away. You're welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. Before we went on the break, we spoke to our three ladies who have given us their perspectives of education and how it's very important when it comes to children and their growth and development. Now we're talking about education as a vaccine for violence, and I'm sure you're wondering, okay, what's that supposed to mean? You know, when we take our vaccine against any form of virus or disease, is because we are trying to mellow or reduce the impact of the disease. So now we're looking at how education is seen to the fact that there's reduction in violence. Take, for instance, domestic violence. Take, for instance, wars and conflicts. Do you know education actually plays a role in bringing about global peace and reducing violence? Well, we're going to talk about that right away. So please give us your take on education as a vaccine for violence.
Yeah. To say education is a vaccine for violence, it's like putting it the other way around. Yes, I appreciate the point. Because look, education is the key to every aspect of our lives. People who have lost out in education are actually losing out big time. And they become, to a large extent, misfits. They do not appreciate even where their freedom begins or ends. They break boundaries. They do things that does not conform as compared to somebody who has been educated. Education, we are talking about the wholeness of education. It's where it affects the physical body, the emotional, and all other faculties on the human institutions. If you are really educated, like you said, and there are issues, conflicts, you are able to think through and say, look, let's negotiate. Let's come to the table and talk about the issues, address this, because that will break down our society. If you are educated, you are able to think through and take the right decisions that will inure to the benefit. If you are educated, you are able to negotiate for things. You are able to appreciate that, look, I have to do this or that for the benefit of this. But otherwise, you don't even know your rights. You don't know your liberties. You don't know what you will have to work out to receive as a form of reward after education. People take you for granted. People literally abuse you because you are not educated well enough. You don't even know your rights. So it is very important that when you appreciate education, you are able to break barriers. You are able to negotiate. You are able to come to terms. You are able to live with your community members, your colleagues, your friends, family members in peace and harmony. You are able to see that indeed this is where my right begins. And so I move in that direction. But it shouldn't go beyond. It ends at a point where somebody also has his rights beginning at that point. Education gives you the liberty, the freedom to be able to do what you want to do, to unearth your potential, to come out with whatever it's inherent within you for people to appreciate. Education is able to give you the leverage to articulate your points and let people appreciate. Education is able to, like I said, break the poverty barrier. Some of us came from that far point of the village, but it is through education. Look at where I am. Education is actually the key to open all closed doors in front of you. So it's very important that with education, we are able to negotiate. Where there is conflict, with the knowledge and the skills about negotiation, you talk about issues, you come to terms, you agree, and then there is peace. So education is it's freedom, it's life, it's liberty, rather than confusion, rather than, you know, people not knowing their left from their right, hitting their heads against stones, dots, everything, and yet they don't get solutions to their lives.
Fantastic.
So I appreciate the fact that education is the vaccine that breaks down violence.
Well articulated. It shows that you're really into education and really is an advocate for such. So I'm coming to you, Patience. You see how she was able to make us to understand that education actually is something that is a key. That's the word she used, is a key. And in Africa, well, we have our own form of education that we believe in, classroom work, using our boards and everything. That's what we're used to. So having to use apps and the internet is not so very normal for us, even though in recent times, that's what we're seeing. But quite a number of parents that are alive now did not really have to go through all of that. We're having our children experience the internet much more. And that is the space that you found yourself in. Could you let us know the benefits of the ULesson app to African homes? How do we bring this home to us to say, yes, we need this and it's really going to be helping us as Africans?
Thank you very much. So actually, online learning is something that is not that started today. We have been using this for way back, over 10, 20 years now. But it wasn't something that we emphasized on till we had the chance to experience COVID-19, where we realized that no, we have to throw more light on online learning or online education. Children learn from various means, and most of it comes from online, not just the traditional means of learning. Learning from the ULesson app actually opens a whole lot of opportunities for today's kids, irrespective of it that whatever they learn in school, a teacher may teach you for 45 minutes, but you don't have everybody listening or understanding what the teacher is teaching, because the teacher is teaching in one way or in terms of a child who only learns in that manner. A child who learns through audiovisual, how will you be able to do that? So the ULesson app offer a whole lot of benefits in regards to giving the children an opportunity to have access to high quality video lessons which are pre-recorded. So a lesson that will be taught in 45 minutes is actually broken down into 3-4 minutes with audio visuals to help these children who learn through videos with illustration at the background. So all the teacher is saying, they have videos illustrating what the teacher is saying to better help the child to understand. And in that manner, a parent is able to also see what the child has watched and be able to elaborate more in terms of home learning for the children. We also are able to help the children with what we call the learning analysis. It's something that it only comes at the end of the term, but with the help of the ULesson, you don't need to wait for the end of the term. We have the learning analysis that helps a parent to track the progress of the child on the learning app. It's able to give assessment for the parent to know where my child needs more support, which of these subjects he or she is doing that I am not involved. But the learning app is giving me the opportunity to know that, okay, with regards to this particular subject, I realize my child is having problem. And that only comes with the learning analysis feature that is on the app. We also have a feature that is called the homework help, where I said like earlier on, parents nowadays, because they are in the corporate world, they are so busy that they are not involved in their children. So they solely hire an extra classes teacher to come home to assist with the homework. So they're actually not there to teach the children, but to help them with their homework help. With the ULesson app, they don't need that anymore, because a child has a feature on the app which is called the homework help. They are able to actually ask a teacher a question, and within a minute, a teacher comes online to spend 20 minutes to give response or answers or even elaborate more on the topic that was taught where the child do not have understanding. And this is all done on the app and is very, very affordable, because in African setting, having access to information is limited. So with the help of the U lesson, we are able to help parents to know that they are not supposed to learn only by the traditional means, but they can actually learn on their own. Here, kids are not having any worry as to whether I have to learn solely in the classroom or even at the house. Whereas they are on the go to school, they have access to it. They can literally learn in 5 minutes, in 3 minutes, with all these audio visuals or lessons that we have put on the app. So these are some of the things that the U Lesson app offers to today's learning when it comes to online learning for the children.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm now going over to Mary. Hello, Mary. Yes, I am coming back to you. And first of all, before you speak, I would like us to play to parents how your work looks like when you're taking children through the reading and the learning process. So I got a very short video which I want people to get to see. Director, let's put that up.
Hello, my book-loving friends. Welcome back to Storytime with Mary. Today, we are going to be reading another book from our super wonderful author, Simon Rudd. And this is another one from the Moogs collection called The Rainy Day. This book is all about using your imagination when you are playing, because sometimes you can't go outside because it's a rainy day. Settle down and let's read A Rainy Day.
So Mary, the drama around trying to get the interest of the child to read is where my interest is right now. So are we supposed to try to dramatize our reading like you are doing right now to be able to get the child to move along with you and understand what you're reading to them?
It helps, but you don't have to. And like I said initially, my dad used to read Anansi stories to me. He still reads them to my kids. So I've got a 5 and a 6-year-old now, and we read every night before bedtime. And you don't need to dramatize. It helps because children, especially young children, it piques their imagination. But actually, you can just pick up any book and read to a child and they'll love it, I promise you. Children's books especially, they have lots of colourful pictures to help with children's imaginations. And so that really does help. But actually, I'm quite dramatic anyway, but you literally don't have to be that dramatic. Reading to a child is so, so important.
Okay, all right. So we don't need all the drama, because at some point I was wondering, okay, am I really reading right to my children? Because when Mary is reading, she's different. She's having all these theatrics added to it, and I see the children are excited when they see you reading and all of that. So I just wanted to be very sure, because not all of us are very good with the drama. However, is there a way your service can be virtual? So maybe parents watching us right now enjoyed what they saw, and they want somebody who's going to be reading to their children or to get involved with your kind of service. Can this be accessed virtually, especially because you're not here with us in Ghana?
Yeah, so the plan, so I have a YouTube channel, so you can find me on youtube.com/Storytime with Mary. But I'm also, when I was in Ghana recently, so at the beginning of December, I was in Ghana, and I actually had the opportunity to go into a school in Bawe and read to some children, and it was amazing. They loved it, we loved it, and it's really got me thinking around how I can support and help more children in Ghana to get reading. So bear with me. If you follow me on my YouTube, I'll give you more information once it's up and running. But yeah, I will be working on how I can actually get to read with more children, especially in Ghana, because I think that's my passion.
All right, thank you very much. But do not go away. I'll still come back to you, okay? I'd like to read some of the comments, and I'll go for a quick commercial break right after that. Kojo Asempa Furniture says, good evening to your listeners from Kojo Asempa Furniture, Edum Kumasi. Thank you so much. And Bless Dine says, great show. I see Jifa Amwa. She says, Mary mentioned she couldn't hear earlier. Now she's found a way. She's listening on Facebook and responding to us. You know, technical difficulties, but she found a way around it. Thank you so much, Jifa, for mentioning that. Victor Joel Yamson says, very good program. Hope you mobilize lots of parents nationwide to tune in. Yes, we did mobilize lots of parents to tune in. And as usual, we always like to say hello to those watching us from various parts of the world via Facebook. And I see quite a number of you. I see E.F. Frank, legend, he says, great show, needs to be repeated. Yes, the repeat broadcast of this show is on Saturday at 9 a.m. So you get much more parents to also get to watch. And even with the Facebook and the YouTube, you can always get to watch it even after now. So those of you watching us via Facebook, I see you sending your wave, Ifoma Wankedi, all the way from the United States of America. Ifoma, thank you so much. I see Gloria Kereke, she's in the UK. She's waving at us. Thank you. I see from Casablanca. Casablanca, you are waving to us, and your name is, what's your name? Maria is waving at us from Casablanca. I also see you from Ouagadougou. You're sending your wave. Thank you so, so much. From Liberia, from Togo, from South Africa, from Zimbabwe. You're all tuned in and watching and sending us your waves. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then coming down to Ghana, I see a lot of you sending in your waves from Accra, Asaman Kesi, Luba, Tota in the Volta region. Yes, I see from Tamale, from Navrongo, from Zabzugu. You're all sending in your waves and watching. Thank you. I want to believe the one who said, did you let parents know you're to tune in is watching? So you see that we have quite a number of people watching from across the world. I see Luke Newman. He says, my daughter uses ULesson. She had improved her mathematics by it. Very fortunate to have bought it. She is in grade 6. Oh, thank you, Luke, for letting other parents know. They'll all try and get on board. And I see another message from Iye Frank. He says, my son Jaden has been with me throughout, watching. Jaden, thank you so much for sending you greetings as well. So I'll go for a quick commercial break. When we return, we do the final lap of the conversation, okay? If you have further questions or you want to say more shouts out, please send it to our Facebook page right away. Do not go away. And you're welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. We are having a good time here. That's why you see us all smiling and everything. We feel really bad that we're going to be leaving you in a very short while. However, just know that it's so much love from here, and we want you to become advocates for education even after this conversation. So I'll be taking my last question, round of question with our ladies, and I would like to start with Joyce. You know, she is the one with the vibe. She comes with all those very deep stuff about education, and I so, so love it. What I'd like to know is, what interventions do we have UNESCO putting in place or ICPD putting in place to ensure that, you know, we are doing the best when it comes to our children and the kind of education we're giving to them, you know, in supporting them here in Ghana or even across Africa?
Yeah, thank you very much. But before I go to answering that question, I want to say that the U lessons and then the reading strategies ties into some of the key messages we would prepared for the celebration of this year's International Day of Education.
Okay.
With the team invest in people and prioritize education.
Okay.
So for example, we are saying digital learning is no more optional if we must accelerate progress towards achieving the SDG 4. Reading is also a key component at the early childhood stage, where we imbibe in our children the skill to be able to read.
Wow.
Other interesting messages: strengthening the digital learning space. Education partners commit to prolong learning, create opportunities to acquire the skills that needs to bring about change. So some of these key messages that was developed for this year's campaign ties into what
the conversation we are
and
having.
I'm really, really happy
Awesome.
and proud of Ye Ghana for this wonderful program.
Thank you.
Now, for the question you asked concerning
the interventions.
the various interventions that UNESCO is undertaken. There are interventions under the education program, under health, and then ICT. So, for example, education is empowering girls, the emphasis is on girls to be able to achieve their potential, building their capacity, raising their confidence level. Remember, some time ago, the social thinking of women was that we were made for the kitchen.
Yeah.
And so no girl made the effort. And that if you made the effort to come out with your voice, you were tagged.
True.
But now we are championing girls' education through a number of interventions, empowering them, letting them know their rights and liberties, standing for their bodies, and not allowing people to take advantage of them. So these are some of the examples of programs that are run. We also, when it comes under health, we have the HIV RHE program for school children. You know, children are aware of a lot of things, but the implications of getting the HIV/AIDS or the thinking behind other people, stigmatization and all that, these are programs that UNESCO champions to support schools to appreciate HIV and how to stay away. Now we are also looking at the digital training. You know, these days, like my sister said here, there's a lot that goes for issues on the internet, learning how to access things online, not forgetting that there is also a huge risk when you want to go online and then access whatever product you want. People are there trying to abuse our girls or our young people, cyber security, fraud, and all that. So UNESCO is also interested in building capacity of various schools through the use of ICT, which is one of their key programs they run. For us in ICDP, we are into a number of interventions, but the key that I want to talk about is our empathy-based approach to caregiving. In this approach, we are looking at interaction. Interaction is the key that will enhance your child's development. So those of you in the corporate arena, not having enough time to interact, you get home, you are tired, sleeping, and what did the teacher say? You start dozing off and all that. Simple strategy, interact. And you affect the child's emotional capacity. You also build in the child communication skills, appreciating the environment, and then you also regulate the child in a positive way. And that helps the child to go through the learning in a scaffolding manner. There are a lot of interesting strategies that we in ICDP, International Child Development Program, run to support parents, caregivers, even pediatricians, teachers, whoever has the child in his care. A simple, culturally friendly strategy will help you interact with your child. And this interaction is scientific, it's research-based, and that will enhance your child's development. We also do the girls' empowerment thing. We are also looking at issues around health within the communities, building their capacity. We do training for marginalized and vulnerable girls, school dropouts, granting them skills in terms of trainings in beads, work simple. We build their literacy, numeracy, and life skill capacities so they come out whole. They are able to do pastries to earn some monies for themselves.
Wow,
So these are the few things.
Fantastic.
we
Well
do
done,
to
UNESCO
support.
and ICPD. Thank you so much. And then coming to you, Lesson, I'm sure that as she mentioned that, I mean, there are various conversations that UNESCO wants us to have, and we are actually having them right now, and digital is actually part of it. People will want to know, so how can I, be part of ULesson? How do I download this app? How do I join?
Okay.
We have a visual. So we'll put up that visual, which will help you.
Okay.
Great. So now we've seen the process of getting it, and it says download it for free. So do we have any subscription fees that we need to pay?
Yes, please. There is a
Okay.
subscription fee to it.
Okay. So how will people get to know? They come to your Instagram page to
So
make
you
inquiries.
you can actually subscribe after downloading when you register, and you can also call our office where we can help you in subscribing.
And the
to
number is?
The number is 0596 921140, or you could also reach out to me on 0554 879 523.
Okay, or go on Instagram or Facebook and just type in the U lesson. You also get access over there. Now, finally, Mary, I would love to find out from you. You have done really well, even with the technical difficulties. You've tried your best to ensure that we are able to communicate. Are you looking forward to do something in the area of education here in Ghana? What are you looking to do for Ghanaians?
Hi, Eunice. Yes, I am. So, like I was saying earlier, at the beginning of December last year, I had the opportunity to go into a school in Baway and actually sit down with children and read. And through my YouTube channel as well, I've realized that it's really, really important just to let children hear storytelling. I've connected with lots of children's book authors from around the world who actually send me their books to read. And how lovely would it be to be able to read those books directly to children in Ghana? So I am working on actually trying to set something up. So it will be in a charity form that will allow us to be able to read more widely and connect with children in Ghana. So, you know, bear with me and I will share more details on my YouTube channel as we can, you know, when it comes to the time that we can share it.
Thank you so much, Mary. And we're looking forward to your arrival here. Definitely, African Women's Voices Show will love to amplify it and let people know that that thing you talked about via Zoom actually has been birthed and has been brought to life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I draw the curtain. I want to believe that you've had a good time with us. And before some people beat me up, I just want to be very sure that I've read most of the comments that are have dropped here. Yes. Okay, so I've seen a few comments here. Let me just go through them. Hi, I'm watching you from Tokyo, and I'm enjoying the show. Thank you so much. You said your name is Louis. Okay, Louis, thank you so much. And I also see another one. It says, fantastic show. Thank you. I am so happy to have you. Tell us much more about how parents are to support their children. Yes, especially Auntie Joyce. Thank you, Auntie Joyce. They're happy with your delivery. And another one says, okay, thank you. You lesson is the best. I am going to get on board. Okay, you have somebody saying your lesson is the best. I'm going to get on board. Good. And then story time with Mary. Also, we have a comment for you. They said, oh, I'm going to start reading to my child because Mary says so. She's going to start reading to her child because Mary says so. Thank you. So please, the repeat broadcast of this show is on Saturday at 9 a.m. Tune in to ETV Ghana for the repeat broadcast. If you're not able to watch on Saturday, please go to our Facebook page, our YouTube page. You get to see this particular edition and even other ones. So until we get to meet next week, one more time, do enjoy the rest of our interesting lineup for you. Bye-bye.